on a podcast featuring Creature and Sacred, episode 12. Oh my god. The inaugural episode of the Annadelna podcast, where we finally do what this podcast was built to do, interviewing other streamers. We get to look into their deepest, darkest secrets, figure out who they are as people, if they deserve your adoration and praise. All here, all live, right now. The first one on the chopping block, I mean interview block, is Sacred Hearts, otherwise known as Sharts, otherwise known as Vertical Streamer, otherwise known as one of the best shorts creators, otherwise known as great collab partner, otherwise known as Digimon card game quitter. But outside of that, great person.
Why are you talking about yourself?
Huh? What's up?
Hi
everybody. I'm Hearts, or Sharts, or Sacred, or Pretty White Jesus. One of the two.
You also said their name wrong. It's Sacred's Hearts.
Yeah.
That's why it's Sharts.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Of course.
All right. So, do you want to give your introduction? The cute little YouTube Dampier.
People should know who I am by now, but yeah.
Of course.
I'm Annadelna, or just Anna. I'm a Dampier. I stream just kind of whatever the hell I want. I used to play a lot of Isaac. Now it seems to be just like a once a week kind of thing. But I'm close to getting Dead God. And...
You're just too good at the game for it to be more than once a week. Otherwise, you just beat the game too fast.
Oh, true. Yeah, I'll figure out timing eventually. There's just a lot of stuff I want to do.
All right.
And what about you, Creature?
No, I don't exist. All right, so Sacred.
Yeah, what's up?
First question. Are you ready? This one is for $10. All right. Why are you a streamer? Why do you do it?
So I started the story of why I started streaming is that until about 7 months ago, I was in a long-term relationship, and at near the start of that relationship, like I don't know, 6 or 8 months into that relationship, I was watching Sinvicta, the Isaac content creator, and my partner at the time looked over my shoulder and was like, "Hey, that game looks really, really cool. You should teach me how to play it." And I, in that moment, let out maybe the deepest sigh I've ever let out in my entire life, because I knew nothing about how to play Isaac at the time, and I was completely unprepared to teach it. So I had to put in about 1,000 hours before I was actually ready to teach the game. And once I had put in those 1,000 hours, I was like, well, I have all this information, and I have nowhere else to put it, so I might as well try to do something with that information. So I started streaming. I had streamed before. Originally, I streamed Bloons Tower Defense. I no longer stream that for reasons we'll get into later in the stream. And I just really enjoy teaching the game. I really enjoy making the game accessible to people who maybe struggle with it, and teaching the ways that you can manipulate the game and make it a little bit more accessible in general.
The funny thing about Sinvicta being a part of the reason why you started streaming, it's actually one of the reasons why I started forcing Anna to make videos. If you look back a little bit, you can see that she did the daily upload of Binding of Isaac content for a while, and then decided to switch over to streaming because she started editing those Binding of Isaac videos and went, "Oh god, this sucks." And she just went full force into streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't enjoy editing long form runs a ton, which is why I do shorts content. I think it is a little bit more accessible, first of all, and second of all, it is exhausting to edit a long form video. It is multiple days of work typically.
Yeah. I just don't really like editing in general. I don't think it's fun. It's not really enjoyable for me to do it. I'll do it here and there just to try and get something out, but yeah, I just don't enjoy editing.
You don't enjoy editing, and yet some of the best content on youtube.com is Tony Screaming compilation, or
That one didn't do all that
the
good.
Binding of Isaac co-op video. It doesn't matter how well they did with the viewers.
I
The
didn't
viewers are
even.
wrong.
I didn't edit that one. Well, okay, no, I did edit it because Phantom had to go and take a piss break.
And also you added the dancing hat kid at the end.
True.
Think of the dancing hat kid at the end.
Real. Very real.
That's any.
And I sped up when we were clearing the room after we used the Card Against Humanity.
All right. Next question. We know why you started streaming. How do you feel about streaming currently?
I really enjoy streaming. I think it's not what I want to do forever. I'm currently working on getting a teaching degree. For those who don't know, I'm looking to work in the special education program, or in some special education program in the area. So teaching is kind of a means to an end in terms of learning how to teach from streaming is really where I kind of want to build my wings out, so to speak. I really enjoy streaming. I think it is more to connect with the community, to provide a safe space for people than it is as an actual moneymaker for me. And I think that's just kind of how I see it. It is a space for people. It is not really a space for me to get them Skrillas.
I think that's great. What's up, Bib?
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because I'm not going to say it's negative or positive or anything. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to say this. Uh, the community that you're building, if you were to stop streaming at some point, would you try to keep your community or would you just kind of go, all right, my time's up. You guys have been great. I hope that you all find communities elsewhere. You guys have a good one.
At the very least, I'm going to keep my Discord open. I don't know how alive the Discord will remain. Discords often die when they don't have a constant stream of interaction. But my kind of ultimate goal is to end up with one of the more queer friendly spaces in Discord. And hopefully we can create a space where people continue to join or continue to exist in post my uh, end of time on the platform.
Your time of death,
But
yeah.
yeah, I will not be abandoning my community if that's what you're saying. That's not really who I am. It's not really the reason I built the community in the first place.
You can understand why I had to think about how to ask that question. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. No, it's a fair question though, because when you leave a platform, when a creator leaves a platform in general, their community often withers, and they either need to direct that community to another creator that they respect and want to see do great things, or they need to figure out some way to maintain the level of involvement that is necessary. And it's a very tough question, frankly.
All right. Nice heavy question in there. So now let's go back to light and fluffy. Games. You stream games a lot, right? What do you think of video games and what do you like streaming?
Um, so as I think most people know, or maybe not everybody, but I stream Isaac pretty much exclusively. The reason for that is it's a consistent touch point for people. Um, I think that's very important that people are able to come into my stream and what to expect. I think variety streams are good, but variety streams are hard to maintain when your community is smaller because people come into their stream uh, and they're like, I have no idea what this game is, and there may or may not be enough action in chat for me to like stick around and hang out with chat. So I try to stream consistently on one game just because it's very helpful for me to have a consistent touch point for anybody hopping into my chat. Um, Games outside of stream, play a lot of different games. Mostly roguelikes. I love roguelikes as a genre. I think that there is a lot of room for passion in roguelike projects, especially like in the indie scene. Roguelikes have just been massive, amazing impact on my life and helped me find communities in general. Um, it's part of the reason why I enjoy like draft formats in card games as well, just because I think that they are as close to a roguelike as you can get in a card game. And so yeah, I play roguelikes. That's why my Twitch notification is roguelikes, roguelikes, because it's never anything else. It's always roguelikes. Whatever, even if I'm not streaming Isaac.
Yeah.
So you're a big fan of limited options and huge innovation. You love the concept of like, all right, I have three things. I have a stick, a rock, and a bucket of water. I got to figure out how to make a steam powered engine real quick. And so you just want to make a spreadsheet and figure out how to do that as fast as possible.
To some extent, yes, but I mean, not really necessarily a spreadsheet. I enjoy the feeling of adapting to that thing, and even if it doesn't end up how I want it to end up, I really enjoy the kind of freedom that roguelikes provide in that you can have the same build as somebody else and play it completely differently. And I think that kind of freedom of expression within roguelikes is something that's really powerful.
When it comes to genres and the like, and you talk about the feeling of freedom that constriction gives you, how does real freedom feel to you? Like in a game of like Minecraft or any voxel game or any open world game where everything has like 30 different options of what you can do every second. How do those games make you feel and how do you feel about them?
I talk about this with Chad every once in a while. They always are like, "You should play Minecraft." I'm like, I don't like Minecraft. I it gives me anxiety in a way that other games don't. Simply because I have too much freedom. I enjoy a constraint. I think that I do my best writing under a constraint. I do my best gaming under a constraint. I do my best interaction with the world under a constraint. That's why I play games with very precise rules because they ignite my curiosity. They ignite my ability to innovate in a way that uh, unlimited freedom does not.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people have that like dichotomy of you either like open world, you either like heavy constriction, or that thing in the middle where you enjoy both in like smaller or larger doses. Hey babe, how do you feel? Which one do you prefer, open world or heavily constricted?
I'd say heavily constricted. I don't really like open world because it seems like a lot of the formula is it's very empty and you have to search for hours to find shit to do. Like Breath of the Wild, it is mostly an empty game and just, oh hey, there's a shrine nearby. Took me 5 minutes. All right, back to nothingness. Minecraft, I never really have a goal. It's just like, okay, I need a house. Here's a basic house, and then I get distracted trying to like make it better, which doesn't really serve a purpose, and I just get lost and confused. And there's so much shit that it does not explain to you how to do or how it works.
Okay, all right. I just remembered the terminology for this. Extrinsic versus intrinsic motivation. So like extrinsic motivation is the game telling you what to do and then you following along with that because you enjoy being told what to do or having a set goal. That's extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the ability to like look at something that is entirely blank and decide, okay, on this piece of paper I want to write down 100 words. You are able to motivate yourself versus needing something to motivate you. You guys enjoy extrinsic motivation, so you enjoy the constriction and having limitations because then your choices are not made for you, but easier to make because there aren't as many. Whereas I personally am very intrinsically motivated, and when I'm constricted in this way, I kind of buck against it, which makes these kinds of games very difficult for me to like put in the effort to get better at them because I always go like, oh yeah, Binding of Isaac is great, but what if I want to leave the basement, you know? What if I want to go kill dragons or something, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I think I definitely respect that, but in my personal opinion, if I'm feeling, hey, I want to go kill a dragon, I'll just go play a different game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's why oh god. I think of open world games and my brain goes to Power World and the problem is Power World's just a bad game.
I
With that to some extent.
To some extent. I like just a general sense of what to do, but not full on like holding your hand. Okay, sweetie, now you gotta go collect a bunch of rocks. Oh, good job. Now you gotta make a hammer. Like, give me an idea of what to do, but don't just have it be like, all right, figure it out or hold your hand, you know?
Yeah, and even when I'm in like a game where intrinsic motivation is more a thing, like in an open world game, I like my open world game to have a fairly clear delineation between the mechanics and the story. If that makes any sense. Like I did not like Minecraft, but for open world games, I really enjoyed the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series.
Hmm.
um, like I thought those were really fun because I was like, all right, I'm gonna be on a skateboard, I'm gonna be doing sick tricks and filling out missions that way. Whereas having to go like do everything in the world, I found very overwhelming.
Yeah. I think the best way I can describe what I enjoy is like the older Legend of Zelda games or Xenoblade, where it's like you have a clear goal and you have this big open area to explore, but there's a clear, like, hey, once you're done exploring and doing all the side content, here's where you go next.
Mm.
And then you get another big area to explore and do all the fun stuff in. What was that reaction, love?
I'm sorry, I had a huge throwback in my head. There's a YouTuber called Soviet Womble who did a video talking about the evolution of games and comparing it to like natural selection in the wild,
Soviet
where
Wombat.
Soviet Womble, Soviet,
Wombat.
yeah, no, that's a different person.
Okay, sorry.
Soviet Womble is a different person. Russian Badger. Anyway, um, so the concept was like games, whenever they become popular, go through a form of like natural selection in the same way that the birds in the Galapagos did. Some birds living in this area gained longer beaks so that they could eat bugs that are deeper in a tree and blah 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 blah. And then it becomes this whole thing of like, all right, what game is popular? What niche is it filling? And then the people who are entering that niche, what do they actually want? So like the people who are playing Arma 3, zombies were popular, so then a zombie mod for Arma 3 came out, and that became even more popular than Arma 3, which is DayZ. And then that led to a split off of a bunch of games where there was like Project Zomboid and like all of these different zombie survival games that spread from that. And then that became popular, and then a bunch of people started playing that. But then what the people who were playing that actually wanted was a PvP experience, because people would just go around, build their base up, and then attack other people. So then that became Rust, which was the survival aspect of that, and people liked that. But then PUBG came out, where people just dropped from the gunship and then fought each other in PvP, and then from that Fortnite and like a bunch of other games spawned. And so whenever I think of the like the roguelike genre, for some reason my brain goes, "Oh yeah, that was the child of Metroidvania." Like the whole concept of Metroidvania, of you start as this character with absolutely nothing, you go through this one zone, you find a single upgrade, and you now have the key to every green lock that exists in that zone and every zone going onward. But there's also like blue locks and red locks in that zone you were just in. And then eventually you find the blue key, which now means that the zones that you were in previously, now you can unlock all the blue locks that are there. And then from there, so on and so forth, until you eventually beat the game and you have this unique loadout where you don't have to use like half the things you have. So then everyone gets to play through the game in a different way. And then somebody looked at that and went, "Oh yeah, what if you were a cave explorer but you shot tears from your eyes, and also you like, instead of tears sometimes you shot nails, and sometimes of nails you shoot like blood and stuff like that." And I think that the connection is there, and I just want to say it so that when it comes out, they, "Oh yeah, Metroidvania was the inspiration." I was right.
Unfortunately for you, Rogue the game came out well
No,
before.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
There's
no.
No.
also a roguelike game on the Super Nintendo. I don't remember the name of it, but I think it starts with a T.
Don't care. I'm correct. You're both
Um,
wrong, actually.
okay.
Been around for well before Metroid or Castlevania even were a twinkle in anybody's
Well,
eye.
you know what? How about this? Next question.
I
What games
love you had this like very long history, and I was like, nah, Rogue came out like a long time ago, dude.
Don't care. Have you considered that?
Do better, babe.
Yeah, it's so real.
Better, babe is crazy.
All right.
I don't remember the name of it, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay, all right. Streaming software. What do you use?
I use Streamlabs. I really want to switch over to OBS because of one, the customizability, and two, the shady business practices of Streamlabs that I don't agree with, and I need to do that. And I was gonna do it this past weekend, but I ended up playing 12 hours of sports instead.
Ooh. I didn't know there was shady stuff going on with Streamlabs.
Well, you remember how they used to be Streamlabs OBS?
Uh huh.
That they did that because they essentially took all of the code from OBS and regurgitated it to become their platform. The issue with that being uh, they didn't actually own any of that code and were not actually associated with OBS. So they got sued by OBS to remove the OBS from their game and create their code in a new essentially language because it was like a real proprietary issue.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Fun
Did you know about this?
Yeah. I knew that it was Streamlabs OBS, and then OBS got mad because they had no connection to them, and then they got rid of the OBS. I didn't know the finer details, and also it doesn't really affect us, so why would it matter?
I tried using OBS at first, and I just couldn't figure out how to like have chat on the screen and things like that. And so Streamlabs is good for someone that's not very technologically knowledgeable,
Oh, absolutely.
not
I
very
very
tech
much agree.
savvy. Um,
It's with user-friendly experiences in mind, for
yeah.
sure.
But Streamlabs is also more system intensive, so there's
Yeah,
there's good and bad for both of it. I do understand the whole not liking Streamlabs because of their shady practice.
yeah.
Uh,
It's a multifaceted thing.
if you ever wanted to teach me how to set up OBS, I'd be more than happy to learn that.
I will be happy to teach you once I figure it out myself. Sound like a plan?
Fair enough.
Second
All
YouTube
right.
channel, Sacred's Hearts OBS.
Oh God, no! I'm not starting one of the like the the clout affording channels where you're just like, all right, here's how you YouTube or whatever the heck.
We've
We
already got the
love.
fishing channel that we got to work on.
Yeah, and I just got the art commissioned for that, which is gonna be really exciting.
Eek.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Small question there, not good enough, obviously. Your artwork, like on your YouTube channel, the Fugi that you use, what does it come from? What does it mean to you?
So it is a retexturing of Fiend from Fiend Folio, who is a little demon guy. And when I originally started streaming Isaac on Twitch, I wanted to differentiate myself from other Isaac YouTubers who specifically like played the base game and streaked in that. And I got my second Dead God because I got my first Dead God on Nintendo Switch. I got most of my second Dead God on Fiend Folio, which is roughly 4 to 5 times harder than Isaac itself. And it was all going very well, and I rebranded using like all these fiend related things, which is why the guy looks like a little demon. Um, until I got to Tainted Lost and Tainted Keeper, which literally were so hard in Fiend Folio, I cried on stream multiple times. Uh,
Damn.
so yeah, I don't play Fiend Folio anymore. I probably will go back to it as a mod at some point, but I probably will not go back to it as an attempt to Dead God it anytime soon.
Very fair.
But that's where all the art comes from. A couple of the dips that I have, like there's a platinum dip in some of my emotes as well. And then some of my other art is made by fans. A lot of my Twitch emotes, specifically the GIF emotes, are all from my fans and are all amazing, and all of them are credited in that. And I actually each person who makes art for me, when I start actually making money from Twitch, we'll be getting a cut of those profits.
All right.
Profit sharing.
It's important. It's a community
Absolutely.
effort. Shout out to co-ops.
Shout out. Um, okay. God, I had a list of good questions. You know what would have been a great idea? Writing them down.
You always write everything down.
I always write everything down, and I didn't. And that's the struggle. What platforms do you stream on?
I stream on Twitch and YouTube. I stream on those two because I stream on YouTube for visibility of content. Because vertical streaming, in particular, the way I stream on YouTube, is a lot easier for people to approach than if I was in the horizontal format. It's much harder to find the horizontal live streams than it is to find the vertical live streams, at least in my experience, because the vertical live streams will show up in the shorts feed in general, not necessarily in the shorts live feed, whereas the horizontal live streams will basically only show up in the horizontal lives feed, which makes it a little bit less accessible to a viewer. And then on Twitch, I stream in a horizontal format to give people an audience, my more entrenched viewers, a space where they can be like, all right, this is where I'm going to go watch Sacred for real. This is where I'm going to spend multiple hours getting channel points. Eventually, if you reach, I'm going to change this to be 250,000 channel points, you can get me to wear a maid outfit for a stream, which should be fun.
Eek.
I have actually in my closet that I bought a little while ago, and it is honestly too sexy.
I was about to ask if we could get a peek at it, but if you're saying that it's too sexy, that might be a bit far for this podcast.
It will show my yitties.
Oh God.
It doesn't actually show my yitties, but I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
When that does come around.
It's a good goal for people to reach for.
Yeah, and that's the way I differentiate my content. Like my vertical feed is just like it's there to help you learn what the channel is, and then the horizontal feeds for other stuff. And I'm doing a bunch of collabs with a bunch of other creators, and it's been really fun and really cool.
Nice.
And then you had a question about which ones I don't stream on, right? Right, Creature?
Yes. Why do you hate Kick and Facebook and X? Why do you hate all of them?
Well, first of all, Facebook and X are polarized. Let's say that to keep away from the actual issues I have with them more strongly on this channel. And I won't be streaming on those anytime soon, especially because I am non-binary and I am often not welcome in those spaces, especially with new stuff that they have done recently. Why do I not stream on Kick? Because that's where the PDFs stream. And
Real.
why not? What? You said real?
Real.
Yeah. And then I don't stream on TikTok anymore because I kept getting banned for talking about things that actually matter to me. I would talk consistently about mental health, suicide prevention. I would talk about politics. I would talk about just the word die is not.
Oh yeah,
okay
yeah. Rookie mistake. You just said suicide. You got to say sewer slide.
Yeah, or you say like end yourself or something like that. And
Self
I
KO.
got, even though I have like a decent following on TikTok, I got banned repeatedly. For a number of days, and I was just like, well, I'll post content on TikTok, but I'm certainly not going to continue the process of streaming on there because it was really not gaining any traction, and it just really wasn't very fun.
Fair. As a vertical streamer, I can understand that there had to be good reason for you to not want to be on TikTok.
Yeah. And
TikTok is like the Disney Channel version of YouTube.
It is. I think that is a good way, especially now with the recent changes to their platform. It has become less politicized, and it has become much less okay to make the statements that I want to make on that platform.
Yeah. YouTube, you can honestly get away with a decent amount of stuff. Twitch, they do not give a shit. As long as you're not, like, making death threats.
Yeah. I mean, the thing, like, I was on YouTube, and I was playing a lot of Kendrick Lamar, and they gave me a copyright warning, aka, like, a strike minus, where it's like, hey, if you do this again, we'll give you a strike. But for now, since it's your first time ever on your channel, you just get a warning. And Twitch just doesn't care about that. Twitch, you can do whatever you want with your music as long as you
Yeah.
don't post that to YouTube or anything. You're fine. Which I think is very bizarre, but I have opinions that not everybody else has.
Yeah. YouTube is just whack. I don't understand it.
Everything is whack.
That is
Everything,
correct.
everything that makes money wants to make more money, and if you threaten the money in any way, shape, or form, you're in the way of money, and that means you need to be paved over.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next question. What times do you stream? Like what days, what times, and why?
So I stream Pacific Standard Time 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. And the reason that I stream then is because it provides a space for the underserved European audience in the Isaac community. There's not a lot of streamers that both work within the European time zones and speak English. So it's kind of because English, as we know, is a fairly universal language. Uh, and it's not very often that people are able to find that, and there's languages are otherwise so fractured or splintered in the European space that it's hard to find a streamer that is doing your language specifically. So being English and on a European friendly time zone, it provides an opportunity to work with an audience that is typically underserved.
Yeah.
And that was every day?
I stream Monday through Friday.
Oh, okay.
I don't
No
stream
weekends.
Monday through Friday.
Okay. So this next question I'm gonna preface with my opinion on it, just so that you can understand what I'm kind of asking for. Um,
Sure.
I'm gonna ask, how do you feel about AI? And then the follow-up to that is like, how would you feel about using AI in order to like have the words that you're saying underneath you have the like in time translation to a second language on your stream. And then my opinion is I believe that AI, like any new thing, is generally neutral, but the way that it's being used, because we exist in a world where capitalism is the main way of surviving, people only use it to make money. And as I said, if you aren't making money, you are going to get paved over, and AI is really good at paving things over. AI is used on X in order to make the most popular opinion even more popular, make the less popular opinion want to commit sewer slide. Um, it steals content on every place where content can be posted, art, videos, everything. And people use it to just cheat on everything. But even with all of that said, I still believe that AI is absolutely a neutral thing that can be used for incredibly good things. So, like, in general, how do you feel about it? And then, like, the good things that you can use it for, would you want to use it for that?
I would agree that AI is objective. Well, not objectively. AI, in my opinion, is a neutral thing, but it is how we use it as a society that it has become problematic. Um, I think that it is often used, as you said, to pave things over. But I think there's a stream. Can I mention another content creator? Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a content creator that I really have enjoyed getting to know recently. Morgan is Moss. I did a collab with them last week. Um, or with her last week, excuse me. I want to make sure I use those correctly. And she has live translations of her words, or not live translations, live transcriptions of her words on stream at all times, which is frankly a beautiful accessibility thing. I think it is very rare for streamers to think about that kind of thing. And the way she so effortlessly was like, hey, this is something I really enjoy doing. I want to make it as accessible as possible. Here's live translations or live transcriptions of my words. It's really powerful, and I think it's really cool. I know Vicfist used to do that, but it became too much. It took up too much space on his screen, and so it's just interesting seeing the w- the way AI is used in general versus the way AI is used in gaming communities, where it is often is often used for like accessibility concern reasons, which I think is really powerful,
I've
as you were
thought,
mentioning with.
sorry, I've thought of
Sorry.
using that as well for my streams, just to help like people that are either visually impaired or hearing impaired, just to understand better what I'm saying. I think it's a great accessibility thing, as you said. I just have no idea how to set something like that up.
Well, I could certainly connect you with Morgan. I think you two would get along, and it could be something that maybe you work on together.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
I will.
do you hate AI? Do you love AI? Are you neutral on AI? Personally, I don't think I said this. Objectively, I think it's entirely neutral. Subjectively, I hate it. I hate what it's done. I hate everything about it. I wish people used it correctly, but they're never going to. So I hate it. How do you feel about it?
I don't like the companies that push it. I don't dislike it as a concept. I don't dislike it as a piece of hardware. I think that the fact that it takes so much energy is a ecological issue. But I don't think that that is inherently an issue if we are able to essentially make our fuel systems more green. But until we are able to do that, it has a negative effect on the world because it is taking power that other people could use uh, in a detrimental way.
Why?
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI?
Uh, I agree with you in your opinion of I'm neutral about it because fuck. I feel like a lot of AI stuff has very like they're making it for good reasons for people to use it for good, but there's so many people out there that use it for bad things, where they use it for like fake porn, they use it to do like political fear mongering. What would you call that? They use it to try and screw over people. Uh, I think AI art is a horrible thing. It steals people's like actual hard work art and uses it for cheap things. There's people that take money to create AI art, and I think that is disgusting. Uh, so I think the creation of AI stuff I'm neutral about. It depends on what it's designed for and how it's used. But overall, I hate AI. I think it is terrible. I think that there's way better ways that we can use it as a resource, and people just refuse to do so.
Mhm.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
I I tangented onto AI because I care about it a lot. Um, all right, next question. Here's what I have written down exactly. Why flesh tube when clearly VTubing is superior? Who wrote that?
Who wrote that?
Who wrote that? I have no idea. Because it's expensive paying for a model. First of all, and second of all, because I have really high self-esteem.
Fair.
Gross.
That it.
If you
You
ever
say
want, if you ever wanted a model, I could make one for you. I understand it for the like system that I use, so it's
Mhm.
not that difficult for me to make one for you if you ever wanted one.
If I was to make a model ever, it would essentially be a pile of dips that talk as a hive mind.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that, but
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have to get that custom made.
yeah. But if you wanted just like a little anime version of yourself, I could do that.
Maybe sometime. Maybe sometime.
Maybe sometime.
Um, in the differences of VTubing, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I just have general ideas. So if I'm wrong about anything, no, I'm not. Um, so the three main versions of VTubing that I know of is like PNG tuber, which is technically what I am, where effectively I'm just a 2D image that when I'm talking it's a different PNG and when I'm not talking it's a different one. what Anna is of a like 3D model in a 2D space
Mm-hmm.
where it doesn't do much, like in the 3D space, but it moves around in 2D. And then you have people who are like full body tracking 3D animation stuff. Of those three, can you rank them? Like in your personal opinion, which ones you like the most versus which one you like the least?
Um, I find the full body tracking kind of unsettling, like Uncanny Valley esque most of the time. Um, this is not to say I don't respect the creators that do that kind of thing, but it's not for me. Um, I think PNG tubers they have kind of like a homegrown feeling to them, and I think that that's really cute. So I'm gonna put that second, and then I think the 3D model in a 2D space, it hits that like vaguely cartoony valley, but doesn't go straight to the uncanny aspect. So I think that's probably where I put my number one.
Real as hell.
Your
Thank
ranking,
you,
babe?
thank you.
My ranking, uh, honestly, I think I'd agree with Sacred. The full body tracking is neat, but I don't know, it just feels like I would have a nightmare where it's just like they're standing there and the next frame they're just in your face. Uh, it's just kind of unsettling. The uh, there is also the third option, the fourth option, which you did not mention. I'll go on a tangent on that in a second. But the PNG I think is fine, where it's just like there's pretty much my Fugi, where it's just standing there, and then when I talk, it opens its mouth and the eyes blink slowly, very unsettlingly because it's a Furby. And then I really like mine because I can turn my head and people can see the side of my head. It's a full 3D model. I think it's really neat. It adds a lot of possibilities. But then there's the fourth option, which like Phantom uses, where it is essentially a 2D model in a 3D space.
Hmm.
I forget what the name of that program is, but I can find it pretty easily. VTube Studio, where it's just like it's layers for their model. So like there's the hair layer, there's the layer for their face, and then their body, and then each of those can move around separately, but they're still all 2D.
Okay.
If I were to rank that along there, I would still put it underneath the 3D model because it's a bit too cartoony for me. Like I don't know if you've seen the GIF of Doki Bird. I'll send it to you in a second. Uh, I have it favorited. I
Of
think it's
course.
really funny, but at the same time, it's just a little uncanny. A little
Yeah, I
weird.
get what you mean.
So, but I still like that more than the PNG because the PNG just seems kind of lifeless. Like it's
You're
just there to
calling
be.
me lifeless? Look at me, laying there, unmoving. You're calling me lifeless?
I made that for you.
Yeah,
I'm not that good of an artist.
I think it's perfect.
I made just like lines to make it look like a slime, and then I traced over a cat skull, and then I had to make the teeth longer because you said they were too short.
Yeah, I wanted it to be more of a saber tooth than like a cat because it has to be that mythical like a small saber tooth cat, like a slime that ate a cat skull so that it could have
Mhm.
a shape.
But
Of
when
course,
you're
yeah.
muted, it has the eepy face.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to unmute, you'd be able to see it move because of Fugi Tech.
All right.
I think there's a way to make it work and look better, but that would
Um,
require a separate program.
The only sorry if you can hear me twice now. I'm just showing that it works. The only thing that I
Oh.
want my model to be able to do
I have to unmute you. Hold on.
is
Oh no, you're not muted.
I just want to spin. I just really want art of my little Fugi spinning, which means I have to get like 8 separate images of like from the front and then northwest and then west and then southwest and then south and then all the way around. I want to spin, but I can't do that right now.
That'd be a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be easier to make like a 3D model
Yeah.
of just like a slime with a cat skull in it and then just spin around.
All right. two more questions because we're at like 45 minutes.
Oh, are we really already? Damn, I'm
Yeah,
I'm talkative.
yeah, it's a good podcast. So if you could change anything, what would you change? Number one, in Binding of Isaac, like if for one day you became a programmer in Binding of Isaac, what are the things that you'd want to change or add or remove? And then like in your stream in general.
Um, First of all, I would make Curse of the Tower a quality 4 item, because that's just true. Um, I would also, what else would I do? I would also remove data miner because the Isaac community as a whole has learned the lesson that data miner was trying to teach us. We don't need it anymore, Edmund. It can go. It can be gone. I would love for that to happen.
I like the
Um,
glitched items.
I like glitched items too, but they're so chaotic, and I like the new version of it. But damn, it's just kind of mean. Anyway, I don't think that's like an objectively correct opinion or anything, but I think the Curse of the Tower one is objectively correct. So you just get on that, Edmund. Get in the comments, chat. Um, and then for things on the stream, I think I would have started a new account after because I just brought my old account into my new account when I just transitioned from Bloons into Isaac, and I don't play Bloons anymore because I was tired of dealing with the audience of exclusively 12-year-olds and under who would want to play co-op all the time but never play it very well. Uh, Whereas at least in Isaac, most of the people who want to join me in co-op will play pretty well, play well enough that we can win a run. Um, and in Isaac in general, I just have a better time with that community. But if I had started my account separate from my old account, I would have had better momentum because when Twitch notices that your old followers aren't coming to see your stream ever, they stop pushing your content. Um, and so I think I would have been smarter if I had just restarted that account from scratch. I'm the terrible Bloons kid is funny spoofy. Thank you.
All right.
Fair.
But my opinion.
And then one last question before we end off this wonderful episode 12 of Annadelna podcast featuring Creature and Sacred's Heart, the wonderful interview guest that we had this time. Uh,
Mhm.
Once again, just advertise your stuff. Where are you? What times? What days? Go for it.
Okay. So I am Sacred Hearts. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. Uh, I stream every day on Twitch and you. Well, not every day. Every weekday on Twitch and YouTube at 7 a.m. PST. Some days I'm just not feeling it. I'll let you know if you're in my Discord. If you're not on my Discord, well, you're just gonna have to find out the hard way. Uh,
Join Sacred's Discord now.
That's true. You should join my Discord.
Mhm.
Um, Tomorrow, I am doing my first episode of Isaac Underexplained, where I play Isaac, but I'm literally not allowed to talk about the game. So I will do everything but talk about the game on that. I have a couple different topics that I'm going to cover in my time there. First of all, we're going to talk about like why I want to become a teacher. Second of all, we're going to be talking about mental health issues. So those are going to be some fun ones. We may also go over some of my favorite topics, including politics and just general stuff of that nature. In the future, there will be other content creators on that uh, podcast, essentially. And I believe Anna will be on there at some point. We'll be talking about things that Anna really loves to do. I'm gonna try to get other people as well. Maybe I'll try to drag Matt or Vic on there as well. Probably get Bambo, things of that sort. Should be really fun. I'm really excited to talk about anything at all besides Isaac with these people who I only know as Isaac content creators. Thank you for sending the link, Anna.
That one only lasts
Otherwise,
for an hour, so
that's fine. Otherwise, I really appreciate everybody for joining us on this podcast today. I think I had a lot of fun, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you all, and yeah, peace.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to need clap emotes in the chat to clap off this wonderful streamer. Vertical streamer, everybody. Digimon card game dropout.
Same as you.
You dropped out of that card game for the same dang reason.
Did
I
you
don't know what
tell
you're talking
Sacred
about.
about the Star Wars card game?
Yeah. I explained that it's just better.
Have you played it?
Played what?
Star Wars card game together.
No.
Why not?
What?
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 Anyway,
Anyway.
thank you for inviting me to this podcast. I really appreciate it.
I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to get you on. We'll try and get Tony the Penguino on next. And then probably circle back to Phantom.
Do you want to keep doing this once every other week, or do you want to make this a weekly thing?
Are we doing the book club?
We didn't do the book club.
Yeah, should I end the recording?
What? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, bye, guys. Remember,
All
like,
right,
comment, and
bye.
subscribe. Bye.